Hey, what's up, you guys? Let's recap John chapter 12. You're going to want to sit tight for this one because this is the first chapter where Jesus actually mentions that Judas Iscariot is going to betray him. Okay, so it's 6 days before Passover, and Jesus decides to stop and have dinner with Lazarus, Martha, and Mary. And if you forgot, Jesus just brought Lazarus back to life. Okay, so at this dinner, Mary brings out... Is this like Mary, his mom? I need someone to answer that. Anyway, so Mary brings out her very expensive perfume and begins to anoint Jesus' feet with it, and she wipes it onto his feet with her hair. And Judas Iscariot, who will later betray Jesus, he is like, what are you doing? You're literally just wasted like a year's salary doing that, and you could have sold it and given it to the poor. And Jesus is like, whoa, Judas, relax. He tells him that she did this in preparation for his burial, and that the poor people will always be there. He will not always be there. I'm not even going to dive too far into how the Bible also says that Judas Iscariot was a thief. He literally stole money as the treasurer. A lot of people were questioning whether Jesus would go back to Jerusalem for Passover, and here, he's going back, so a ton of people have found out, and so they're all there welcoming him. Like, literally, he has a welcoming committee who's there and excited to have him back. And so what he does is he finds a young donkey, and he actually, he sits on it and rides it into the town, because that is what the prophecy says. And at first, the disciples are confused about why he's doing this, but don't worry, they eventually put it together. While all of this is happening, the Pharisees begin to understand that there's actually nothing that they can do that will stop people from believing in Jesus. But they still want to kill him. Okay, so Jesus is at the Passover celebration, and the Greeks are there, and they want to talk to him. So I'm going to read what Jesus says to them, because, again, I don't want to mess it up. I tell you the truth, unless a kernel of wheat is planted in the soil and dies, it remains alone. But its death will produce many new kernels, a plentiful harvest of new lives. Those who love their life in this world will lose it. Those who care nothing of their life in this world will keep it for eternity. So Jesus is teaching, and of course, despite everything he's saying, despite all of the miracles he's done, despite everything, they still question him, and they still don't know who he is. And I don't think it's that they don't know who he is, they just don't believe it. And what it actually says later in the chapter, almost at the end, is that a lot of people do believe in him, but a lot of them are also afraid of the consequences of admitting that they do believe. So, anyways, that's John chapter 12. Like and follow to see what happens in John chapter 13.